Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I titled this message, Empathetic People, a Target for Abusers. Empathetic People, a Target for Abusers. And for some of you all, you have been told by others that you are just too nice. You are just so understanding. You are such a sweet person. Oh, you are so kind and you're so loving, right? And when you think about who's saying these things, usually these people are folks who take advantage of others. But of course, they're not going to admit to being manipulative. They're not going to admit to being greedy. They're not going to say that they are selfish. Oh, no. But they know you. They know you enough to know that you are going to let them slide with many things. Let's take a look at the definition of empathetic, shall we? It is used as an adjective, and the definition is showing an ability to understand and share the feelings of another. You may have done this sort of thing time and time again, especially in your intimate relationships. You showed that you understood where a person was coming from, and you didn't mind sharing how you felt about a number of things. Now, psychologists call people who are very intuitive, hypersensitive of other people's emotions as being empaths, okay? And according to the empathguide.com, an empath is a person who can psychically tune into the emotional experience of a person, place, or animal. In the paranormal and in some works of science fiction and fantasy, highly developed empathy is a psychic ability to sense the emotions of others and often highly aware of the health and state of mind of their loved ones. No matter how physically near or far away the individuals may be, it can be challenging for empaths to function healthily in society if they are unaware that they have this sensitivity and often opt to be alone. Okay? Reading on, most empaths are often in the dark about their innate gifts, but the more developed ones are sometimes called in by the police to help track a murderous pedophile or other heinous criminal because they are able to take on the tortured emotions of the assailant. Utilizing clairempathy, a type of telepathy to sense or feel within oneself the attitude, emotion, or ailment of another person or entity. Now, many believers, I must admit, who are sold out for God are empaths. Okay? They have this ability to be able to connect with people in a deep way. They are able to sense that you, my friend, you're grieving. You are depressed. You are in turmoil right now. Let us pray for you. Okay? Reading on. They are sensitive to the visible as well as the invisible and pick up on body language, tone of voice, body movements, the words people choose when they speak, the words they avoid, the logic they use, and the hidden things that only an empath can sense inside another person. It is not uncommon for an empath to freak out for no apparent reason, only to discover later that a friend or family member went through some sort of trauma at that exact moment. So you may have that family member or friend saying, "What were you doing yesterday?" "What do you mean? What was I doing?" "Well, I don't know. I just felt this extreme sadness." "Oh, well, I really didn't want to talk about that, but since you mentioned it, you see." If you are very close to a parent or some other relative or friends, you may be that one. that says to them, "Ooh, I was feeling so angry yesterday and I didn't know why I was feeling so angry." And then your face popped up and I was thinking, "Woo, is something going on with her? I mean, really?" Right? And then the next thing you know, the person starts confessing all sorts of things that took place with them the other day. Okay? So empaths have this ability. Now, why is this important? Because we got some individuals, and I have been one of those that has fallen victim to this sort of thing. We have some individuals who have this interesting view about love, these empaths. And their interesting view draws some manipulators into their circle. Okay? I remember one of my relatives saying something like, "Where there's a will, there's a way." And she would say that sort of thing when I would tell her about some of my trials with different people. And she wanted me to stay positive. So, of course, she would say things like, "Well, where there's a will, there's a way." If there was a situation that would arise and it seemed a bit complicated, difficult, what have you, she'd say, "That's all right. Where there's a will, there's a way," especially when money was involved. I remember hearing someone quite positive say to me, "Love conquers all," right? You just love somebody. You just show them just how much you are there for them, that you're willing to do so many different things. I mean, they're going to see that love and they're going to eventually just appreciate all of what you're doing. Yeah. Okay, sure. And we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about this love, these common beliefs that many empaths have. Okay. And these individuals tend to think that there's good in everyone, right? And you just give people the benefit of the doubt. And you may have even said the same thing, right? We're just going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And then some people will say, if you want to be forgiven, oh, well, you need to learn how to forgive too. You got to forgive. Okay. And then there are those who, that poor person over there, they don't have many friends and they don't get to go out much and I just want to help. Or you might start dating someone who starts talking about how, well, I don't really do too much. I mean, I just pretty much go to the store. I might stop at a restaurant, then I come home and I just sit back and relax. That's pretty much all that goes on, right? And when you are an empathetic person, you hear this sort of thing, and what do you want to do? You just want to love on that person, don't you? You just want to find some positive things to uplift them. You want to bring them up out of their funk when they're telling you that I don't know and I don't see any way out of this. And you just say, well, where there's a will, there's a way. And, love conquers all. And I mean, you just got to look at the good in a situation. You just got to look at the good that's in people, right? Don't even get caught up in any type of negativity, right? Because you want to be forgiven, so therefore you need to forgive. I mean, all of this sounds good, okay? It's quite positive, but it doesn't go over so well when you got a manipulator in the camp, when you got somebody who's targeting you and they have a lot of pessimism going on with them. They are children of darkness. They are satanic. They have an oppressive spirit about them. They are users. They are abusers. This sort of thing does not go over well with them over time. Initially, you're going to do all of these things and they're going to see them and they're going to know what type of personality you are. And therefore, they're going to, unfortunately, as I've said in other audio, play you like a fiddle. They are going to do all sorts of things to get you to give a little more, to do a little more, to be the way they want you to be. They have a fantasy, some of these manipulators, okay, of what they want from you. They're not happy with you being who you are. There's always room for improvement. There's always going to be some type of criticism. There's always going to be some type of pushback whenever you're trying to throw back or give them something or do something for them and they don't really want it. I'm not used to people treating me nice. I'm not used to people loving on me. I'm not used to you being so thoughtful, so sweet, so nice. I've got to nitpick. I've got to find fault. I've got to do the types of things that's going to stress you so that I can see what your weaknesses are. And then when I see what your weaknesses are, that's going to make me feel better and that's going to pump me up. Oh yes, these people are out here. We don't initially see all of these things. We don't. We're just going about our business. We're just being nice. We're just being considerate. We're just being respectful. We're assuming that people are going to treat us in a way that they want to be treated. Well, some people don't even treat themselves right, much less treat you right. Look at what they drive. Look at how they dress. Look at how they talk about themselves. I'm so dumb. I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did this, that, and the other. Now, if they're hard on themselves, the likelihood of them being hard on you is pretty good. What about the individual who I'm not bringing myself down. I'm perfect. I'm right. I'm true. I'm this. I'm that. Right. And then as you get to know them, you find out that no, they are just inflating their own ego. They're self-delusional. OK, they don't have one iota in terms of what love means, what understanding, what appreciation, what consideration, or anything else means, because it's always about them. The world revolves around them. Some of you all right away, I know you're picking up on narcissism, right? That is the self-absorbed individual, that one who is all about me. It is not about you. It never was when they got connected with you, and it never will be. These people, they pretend to act as if they are in your corner, just so long as you are benefiting them in some way. But then the day that you say no, and I can't, and I won't, and I refuse, and by the way, I don't like the way you're treating me or what have you, they mark you as an enemy. They disconnect slowly but surely from you, and they're looking for some narcissistic supply from someone else or from something else. And then you got those who, and I came across some information on the schizoid personality, because we spend a lot of time on these different sites seeing things about narcissism. But what about the schizoid? Well, one thing I noticed is that schizoids, they are attracted to empaths, just like narcissists are. Okay, because why? You are kind, you're considerate, you're loving, you're sweet, you're going to do nice things. Okay, you probably have a nice little circle around you of some decent people, or you got access to some really good resources, or maybe you're just an intelligent person that they can feed off of. The schizoid personality, according to WebMD, this particular individual lacks social interaction. Okay. These are the types that they're not violent people, okay? But they do have some conditions such as mood disorders, anxiety disorders, personality disorders, you name it, and they don't necessarily like being around folk, okay? So the empath sees this sort of thing and says, well, but I want to be your friend, and I think I can change you, and I think that I can get you out and about more, and we could do more things, right? Okay, not knowing that this person has a personality disorder. Matter of fact, the schizoid doesn't even know that he or she has a personality disorder, but it's there. It's there. Okay. Well, you say, well, how are they functioning in life then if they don't like being around people and so forth? Well, hey, you got to tolerate some things, right? If you want to get some money. But what they do is they strategically pick the kind of jobs where they don't have to interact with people. Okay. So they have these odd behaviors about them. And some people, including their relatives, have said things like they're weird, they're strange, they're bizarre, they're a bit odd. Okay. I mean, I love my son, I love my daughter, but she's a strange one, real weird. Doesn't like to be around people. Okay. Now, the empath, though, wants to just shower that person with love, right? Because, maybe they had a hard time growing up. Maybe they needed a hug. Maybe they needed all sorts of things. I laugh because I have been drawn to people like this over the years. Okay. And I really wanted and hoped for the best. And I will tell you that some people, it doesn't matter what you do for them, it's never good enough. And they're going to always be in the shell, okay? The shell that they like to crawl into and not come out. The symptoms of this schizoid personality disorder, based on what WebMD has on its site, is they do not desire or enjoy close relationships, even with family members. They choose solitary jobs and activities. They take pleasure in few activities, including sex. Okay. And of course, the person who's dating, you don't know all of these things because you're not around this person all the time. Okay. And this is why you should slow down with all of the intimacy and so forth and find out, okay, what kind of job, and are they really close to their relatives? Okay, they usually don't have close friends. They do have their favorite relative or relatives. They have difficulty relating to others. They don't really react to praise or criticism. They just show very little emotion. And they have some daydreaming that goes on with them, okay? They have these fantasies in their minds of what they would like their life to be, okay? And if they share a fantasy with you, it sounds a bit complicated, a bit confusing, okay? So these schizoids got a lot of things that go on with them internally, and they don't make for the best friends, okay? And some of you all might be quite frustrated because you didn't quite understand what was going on with this person that you are trying so hard to win to Christ, that you are trying so hard to shower with affection, and you're getting nothing in return. Okay. We also have antisocial personalities that are like this as well, in terms of they are not, and I'm not saying that they're like the schizoid where they're not interacting with people, because they do. Antisocial people, they do have their moments where they are definitely interacting with people, but they're doing it for benefit, okay? I just like these schizoid, I need you right now, okay? But it's going to be temporary. We're not going to always be buddy. Okay. It's just that right now I got to rely on you for information, or I need some money, or I need whatever. Okay. See, this is the sort of thing that goes on. So the empath comes along, sees these things, and wants to fix. I think I can fix it. I think I can fix it. Fix this narcissist. I think I can fix the bipolar, the schizoid, the everybody. Okay. I think I can do it. Okay. So you're up for the challenge. And then the next thing you know, you start crumbling because it's too much. Okay. That's why when we're doing any type of counseling or helping other people, we do have to have our hand up a bit, right? We got to kind of put that hand up to distance ourselves away from some folks who are starting to attach, who are starting to connect in some bizarre ways. Sometimes we just have to get law enforcement involved, okay? Because some people just don't know. They just don't know how to behave, okay, to put it lightly. And so it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, I did mention antisocial personality disorder, which is a mental condition in which a person has a long-term pattern of manipulating, exploiting, or violating the rights of others. So these individuals out here who are targeting the empath, they are also antisocial. So we think, okay, that means that they're not going to socialize or whatever, but no, that's not it. It's connecting with people, but not in a healthy way. You see, it's the lying and the conniving and the looking for ways to get you to do certain things. Okay. Controlling individuals are good for doing this, and controlling individuals also tend to have an antisocial personality disorder. Okay. So once again, the empath is out there saying things like, oh, but I can really work with this person. I really can. And then they are finding out that no, there's just no hope. I might as well give this thing up. Okay. Because this person is just unreachable. And the Lord will even show us early on, you don't want to get connected with this person. Okay. They're going through a lot. They have been rejected because of their negative behavioral patterns. This person has a mental illness. God will just allow certain things to be said out of that person's mouth that will warn us. That's why we have the warning signs, the red alert signs. And unfortunately, empaths ignore. Okay. Or sometimes empaths are so enamored with people, so caught up in the help that, I didn't see it. I didn't know that he had been lying to me all this time. I didn't know that he has a habit of, just treating people weird. Okay. And then some of these ones who are violent or criminal, okay, criminal minded and antisocial folks, they do have those tendencies. They will unfortunately physically abuse, threaten empaths. Okay, you might have tears in your eyes and really trying to sell this person on the fact that you love them so much and I want to do so much for you. And the person is just still being mean, saying ugly things. Okay. I think for some of us, we pick up on the negativity of people because, of course, we're empaths. And, but I also think that we pick up on it too, because Satan is sending out those vibes to eventually get us to be in a trap of some sort, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and then ultimately to destroy us. Okay. To kill us even. I remember feeling a lot of empathy for an individual who told me that he had seen his mother go through a lot. He had lost his father early in life. He was about 3. The father had passed away. He had been moved around because the mother was looking for jobs and what have you. And his story was very touching. And I just immediately gravitated to him, and I bought him all sorts of gifts. I celebrated Christmas after Christmas with him, as well as others. Okay. I just wanted to fill this void that these individuals had. But when they turn on you like a snake, the empathy, at least for me, goes out the window. And being that I have my share of issues, I can be just as cold and just as mean. Okay. That's why we draw near to the Lord, so that we don't end up being influenced, right, by struggling, hurting people. And some of you all have heard that audio. I hope that as you are learning more about yourself, okay, because like I said, a lot of Christians are empathetic to people who are hurting, that you will learn how to stay away, distance yourself from individuals when they're showing themselves to be evil, showing themselves to be manipulative, learning to emotionally withdraw, physically withdraw, what have you. Okay. We don't tend to take compliments very well because we just want to uplift others. Okay. We're looking at the positive in others, and we're putting ourselves usually on the back burner while we're driving everybody else to be all that God has intended for them to be. But when you got negative folks around that you're pushing, that you're driving, that you're uplifting, they will take advantage. They will act mean-spirited. They will look at you as being controlling at times. I just want to help you out. No, I think you're trying to control me. There's a difference. The controlling individual is not allowing you to be yourself. The empath is letting you be all that you can be and then some, but they're just giving you suggestions, but will still stick it out with you even with all of your shortcomings. According to empathguide.com, empaths have a tendency to openly feel what is outside of them more so than what is inside of them. Okay. Inside, you might have this feeling that there's something not quite right with this individual and I need to just be very guarded. But yet you see what they're going through. And so you tend to brush off what you feel inside concerning that person. The red alert signs, the bells are going off, but I'm not important right now, but this person is. And so you ignore your own needs. According to empathguide.com, in general, an empath is nonviolent, non-aggressive, and leans more towards being the peacemaker. And in general, any area filled with disharmony creates an uncomfortable feeling in an empath. If they find themselves in the middle of a confrontation, okay, they will endeavor to settle the situation as quickly as possible, if not avoid it altogether. If any harsh words are expressed in defending themselves, they will likely resent their lack of self-control and have a preference to peacefully resolve the problem quickly. So this is why some individuals can snap out of an argument and then turn right into being peaceful and wanting to work with someone, wanting to compromise and all of that. Okay. Empaths are the listeners of life and are often problem solvers, thinkers, and studiers of many things. As far as empaths are concerned, where a problem is, so too is the answer. And so you might be studying someone quite closely, trying to understand them, but sometimes the understanding goes out the window. Okay. There is no more understanding. If anything, you have to find safety. You have to get away. Sometimes you've got to cut off some monies, or you've got to move children away, or you have to do any number of things to get away from this person who has targeted you, because they see the good in you. And because they don't have the empathy, because they don't have the strengths that you do, what they eventually do is they try to bring you down. Some of you have already gotten away from individuals like this, and all this is just a simple reminder for you to stay away. Doesn't matter how much they cry, how much they compliment you, how much they reminisce about the good old days. The point is that this individual is in search of something, and when they get it from you, they're eventually going to hurt you. Okay? So empaths, beware of these people that are out here who do not have a soul. Okay? That's just a figure of speech. God gave us all souls, but in other words, these people are cold. Okay? So that is it. I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen. You've been listening to YouTube NM Enterprise 7. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or what have you, by all means, you can reach out to me. And check the description box, too, for anything that might be of interest, especially the books related to family. And we do welcome donations. So if you would like to give, by all means, do. Blessings to you.